to Mid 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Here tonight until another Celtics game. I was going to start with the Celtics, which I will do. I will certainly do that, but I got to let loose for a little bit here. I got to let it all out. I know that there are people out there right now sitting in their cars on 95 South and 95 North listening to me right now. And it shouldn't take you 2.5 hours to go 15 miles in this state. And I sat in my car in front of the Jordan's Furniture for 1 hour at a standstill. I made it on time, damn it, because I'm a determined person. And this isn't just me complaining about the traffic, because every day I'm here early. Every day Skaz is here early. We're here by 5:30 almost every single day. And 5:30 is late. But today, out on Massachusetts driving, I could have went to Jordan's. I could have done the Sleep Number bed. I could have got blueberry muffins from Jordan March. I could have waited. For the hour that I sat on 95 South today, at a standstill, it's absolutely demoralizing. And now here I am to do a radio show. And I will get into it. But I'm telling you right now, this traffic, out. I will not leave 3 hours earlier. I had to call Skaz, and I said, hey, man, GPS says 6:03. I might be there, dude. I might be there. And then I had, hey, put Alex Barth on standby. Well, where Alex isn't at his desk. Normally, Alex is at his desk every day, right, Skaz?
Alex was warming up. He was already warm.
So I was like, call to the bullpen. It's Barth time, baby. I never thought I was going to make it. I sat there and go, how am I not moving? I almost wanted to just shut my car off. So for everybody out on 95 South right now, shout out to all of you. But I have something I'd like to petition. 15 minutes tops. Then you get the detail. What, am I going to fly to Waltham? Anyways, I'm going to keep going here. What'd you think? Were you guys taking bets back there if I was going to make it or not?
I was confident. You know, we got Barth on headlines. Nice end of game, about a minute long. Our opens, minute and a half. I was pretty confident you were going to make it.
Do you want me to keep going? I can keep going if you want. You know what else is terrible? Rubberneckers. Looking on the other side of the road, wondering what's going on. And you know what happens? At some point, you've been going slow for so long that you're just going slow even when it opens up. Like when that thing opens up, baby, rum, fast and furious, here we go. So I made a detour. I'm making an executive decision. I got off on North Ave. I went by the Colarusos, and I got on 95 right there. And I'm telling you, there was no traffic. So it's in one spot, damn it. There should be a detail is all I'm saying. Move that thing along. I made it, though. I'm determined. I do my job. 617-779-0985. I haven't done that in a while. The last time this happened was the parade that happened the night Claude Julien was fired. There was a 2-mile wait to get past the damn green line. But today's guys, nope. I left on time. I left like I always do. No, really, did you guys take bets? I'm serious, because everybody was really happy when I made it on time. I even was greeted at the door by Felger and Jay Stu.
Anxiously awaiting your arrival.
I actually wanted to hear Barth.
He was ready for Celtics.
I almost said send intern Joe in. Why not?
He's ready for it.
Intern Joe would have been ready to go. Anyways. Hey, guys. I feel bad for everybody on 95 right now. I really do. It was just... I get it. We all deal with traffic. We all deal with it. I don't have to deal with that. I did not sign up for that. Anyways. Connor, what's up, man?
Hey, right on with the traffic, dude. I've been driving an hour and a half up to Peterborough, New Hampshire, down to Melrose for work, and holy crap, dude, insane. I'm sitting in it right now. But what I really wanted to call about, I just think hockey ops over on the Bruins side need to pull their pants up and just pull the trigger at this point. You're holding candy in front of kids' faces. Just let them go or tell us you're not going to. Something's got to change. It's just getting ridiculous.
Oh, see, I mean, they've won a couple of games in a row. Does that change anything? I mean, they're getting back on track right now. Listen, I left here last night thinking that they were doomed. I got in the car, they scored a goal. And I go, well, now I can't shut it off. And then they scored enough. They scored 3 goals to win the game. I don't know. Let this team figure it out right now at this point. I definitely think he's a dead man walking. Don't get me wrong, but is that a term? I just listened. Oh, by the way, did you hear these guys talk? Guys, how many times have we done the Saved by the Bell? Because I've been talking about bodies that aren't dead yet in caskets. I got a bunch of lines if you want them. Nate's in the car. Hey, Nate.
Hey, how's it going? First time, long time. Yeah, so I drive about an hour 30 to an hour 50 every day from northern and central Mass down to Chestnut Hill area. So I know all about 95 traffic. What's worse is if you're on Waze and you see the time getting added on. But yeah, the shortcuts on that, definitely use that next time.
Is there another alternative for Waze? That's the only one I use.
What I do, yeah, exactly. And sometimes I'll just refresh it to hope to see it go down a little bit too.
No, but like my whole thing was, why didn't it say, hey, Joe, just go around the exit and get off at the next exit? Why not? I sat there for 1 hour and didn't move.
Yeah, that's when I refresh it. If it doesn't give me an alternative, and it's been a while, I'll just close out.
But why do I have to refresh it? Why can't they do their job?
That'd be awesome. And all those points, do those add up to anything? You always get points if you put that in. See someone on the side of the road, you should get like a cool shirt.
Points? Wait a second,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, you get points. So if you see a car on the side of the road and then you put it in so you notify other people if there's someone on the side, you get 6 points or 2 points if it's already been notified, but I don't know what those points do.
Oh, so that's why I always get those stupid pop-ups, because people are playing games.
Pretty much.
Car on the side of the road, game. Police officer ahead. Thanks, buddy. Usually I don't want to lead a highly rated drive time show with my emotions of the road, but I'm sure you're all out there. Nick's in the car. Nick.
Oh, my God. I'm on 95 South. Joe, you made me laugh. That's the only time I've laughed in the last hour.
Where are you? Rude. Tell me where you are.
I am right now on Route 2. I see the Pittsburgh-Boston sign heading south. Coming down from Wakefield.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So I was in Wake. That's where I was. I sat there, did nothing, and then I went around the loop, where and then I went on 93 there. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But then I was free. Then I got to Route 2. And it said Trapello Road, Trapello Road, Trapello Road. I must have sat in front of Trapello Road for a half hour.
This is it. It teases you. It opens up for 5 minutes, and then they pull you back in.
It's like The Godfather.
It's worse. Oh, my God. And then
you know what? It is worse than The Godfather 3.
Well, it's insult to injury. I'll transition hard right here on the Celtics, watching them lose to the Trae Young-less, Hawks last night. Give me a break.
Oh, yeah. I got a thought on that. The traffic was worse than the Celtics loss. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. If you feel free, you know what? You want to vent about the traffic? Damn it. We got another 15 minutes to go.
45 minutes, Joe.
Oh, we're going till 7. I thought
7:30 tip tonight.
Oh my God! Now I got to do more work. I literally thought we were going till 6:30. Whatever. You know what that means? More calls with you guys. I do have some thoughts on the Celtics last night of the Bruins as well. And now some more Patriots news as we are here until 7 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray. I made it on time. Damn it, here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
And they got 20 offensive rebounds and forced us into 20 turnovers. So you let a team outshoot you by the shot margin like that, you're not going to win. Yeah.
All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. All right, I'm going to get back on track, and I will take your calls on all this, but let's get into the sports, and then I'll get to your calls in a second here at 617-779-0985. So the Celtics lost last night to the Hawks in the NBA Cup. I told you nobody cares about the NBA Cup, and the Celtics even showed you that they don't care about the NBA Cup. Now, do you get some money? Can you go to Vegas? Yep. Do they care? Nope. They lost as 16-point favorites last night. So I will tell you this. I don't care that they lost to the Hawks and had a 15-point lead or whatever, because they did that last year to the Hawks too. They've done this before. So they did this last year and still won a championship. So for the people that are upset about last night's loss, like you're really upset about it, get over it. They showed up the other night and took on Brooklyn and won the game out of pure talent because they actually cared in the end. Last night, they made too many turnovers. They were careless. They were terrible lineups. Like, why was Tatum and Brown on the court the whole entire first quarter? Like, what the hell was all this? They were just tinkering last night. So do I take anything away from it? No, but the Celtics did commit 5 more turnovers than their previous high all year. They gave up 4 more offensive rebounds than they had in a single game. And it was another just loss where you look at it and say, all right, it might be just one game, but now it's kind of over the last few games. And Joe Mazzulla, after the game you just heard, they got some stuff to clean up. They're not perfect. It's a new season, a new journey. And they're looking to embracing those movements. The NBA Cup is stupid. I said it to you last night. But the Celtics have not played great over the last 4 games. I still think they're the best team in the NBA. I still think they win it all. They shot 40% from 3 and lost. But it was the mistakes that killed them. They might have the best talent. They might shoot the most threes. But if they're going to lose, it's because they beat themselves. When you turn the ball over and miss free throws down the stretch, you can still be the best team, but you're not better than making too many mistakes. That's what happened last night. They made too many mistakes, and their shooting and their ability couldn't outdo it. They still lost by 1 point. I'm not worried. They showed up again. They beat the Nets the other night. They made all those same mistakes, but in the end, they won. But they couldn't shoot their way out of it last night, and it's a lesson learned. So there's only a few things I think that gets in the Celtics' way this year. It's injuries, it's making too many mistakes, and it's beating themselves. And the only thing in the way of the Celtics are those things. Not losing a game in November to the Hawks when they had a lead, when they were 16-point favorites. Again, I remind you what happened last year. They won the championship. The Lakers won the NBA Cup. The Celtics are not chasing the Lakers for the NBA Cup title. They're going to probably stomp Brooklyn tonight. They'll make less mistakes, and they'll go on and win the championship. I will not react over this one bit. Skaz, am I underestimating what happened last night? Because I will not sit here and worry about what happened. But I do think it is true. Although they're the best team in the league, they can't beat their own mistakes. They can't shoot their way out of it, and talent won't always be if they continue to make mistakes. So it's another thing to put in their way of them potentially repeating this year.
Yeah, I think the major concern for me last night was they shot 40% from 3 and lost the game. That's not something you often see with this team. Also, you get a really good game from both the Jays. Jason and Jalen both played really well. Derek White played really well. Even Pritchard was all right. But outside of that, and I know, most nights you're not going to need anything outside of that, but the bench has been somewhat of a disappointment this year. Obviously, the rebounding is an issue. Anytime you get out-rebounded by, such a large margin, I think it was offensive rebounds 19-6 in favor of the Hawks. That's just, you can't let Reece Sachet get 4 offensive rebounds in one possession. You're not going to win basketball games doing that. But I'm with you that it's one game. It's early in the season. The Celtics lost to the Hawks last year as well. I'm not going to overreact to one game, but I think that is kind of a wake-up call that you're going to get every team's best shot every night. You're the defending champs. That's what it takes to be the defending champs. Teams want to beat you, especially a team like that. With they got some real pieces. Johnson looks legit. Daniels looks legit. Risa Shea, I think, is going to be a good player. So a lot of hungry young guys. They want to prove.
They capitalized on all the mistakes.
And I think Quinn Snyder is a solid coach.
Yep. They didn't do any. I don't know if they win that game with Trae Young.
No.
The guys just tried hard and did the right thing. And
you lose that game with Trae Young.
Exactly. That's why I'm not going to overreact. But is there a pattern, Skaz? Have they not been playing great ball over the last week?
Yeah, I would say that they're to their standard, not nearly good enough.
Mm-hmm.
What we're used to seeing last year, dominating teams, blowing them out. The Celtics have had awful starts this year, and I think that is kind of concerning that they're not ready to go, because I think that is kind of on the coach. And I'm a big Mazzulla guy. I'm a believer in his philosophy, but the way the Celtics are starting games is starting to become a trend, and I think that is a little concerning that they're down 16-2 in back-to-back games against the Bucks and the Nets, and they come back and win both games. But there's only so many times you can put yourself in that hole and come back and win. And they scored 51 points in the second half last night. That's good, but not good enough. Not when you're the Celtics and you have all the weapons they do. It's just 20 turnovers, definitely concerning, but I'm not worried about that. Not with Derek White, not with Drew Holiday. I know Tatum had turnover issues in the past, but I think last night was a wake-up call. The Hawks wanted it more. They outplayed you. Every facet of the game, they got beat.
They got beat, but they beat themselves. That's the only thing in their way. And by the way, it was the only thing in their way years before that, too, until they met the Golden State Warriors in the finals. I'm going to watch tonight. Let's see if they can have less mistakes. But they lost a game where they shot 40%. You have not seen that in a long time. Let's get to your calls at 617-779-0985. Again, I had some horrible traffic on the way in, and I'm not happy about it. And I'm not settled in yet, so we're just on the fly at this point. Mareza is on from Twitch.
Hey.
Where you been?
So I took care of myself, and then I got laid off from my job.
So you're back.
Then I got this temp job. It was awful, but I wrote it out because it was 2 weeks later, and then I got this job I have now, and it's freaking amazing, and I love it. I make more money, I have better benefits, way less responsibility,
Good
big
for you.
workload, but yeah, it's freaking awesome. But a week and a half ago, I was in traffic, so I come from the Pawtucket line, the Pawtucket Mass line, right? And I'm going up. The traffic was so bad. I'm not even kidding. I don't know if you know this area, but it threw me into North Attleboro back roads, into Mansfield to get back on the highway. And I was still in traffic. Took me off at the next exit and then put me on Route 1 and then brought me through Walpole's back roads to get through Norwood to get to where I needed to go. And I was like, dude,
what app was this?
2 hours. It was Waze.
Out. We need a new option.
So I use Apple. I use Apple Maps now and Google Maps.
Okay.
I use Apple because I think Google Maps, my husband said they report the cops now. So you can see when cops are are sneaky.
Ooh.
But I usually pull up all three to compare what routes they're giving me. But I'm telling you, Waze used to be amazing, but their game has been really off.
So,
but Apple Maps, I guess, stepped up too.
Oh, dude! All right, so I do this now with ride shares. I use two of them and I test out which one's cheaper at the time. I don't think I can do that, man. When it comes to directions, I'm gonna have to use Waze and Apple now and my GPS.
Well, I would say I would just switch it up. Try Apple for a few days and then try Google for a few days. See which one you like. Or honestly, if you're just I don't want to deal with this, just pop up the other app. My problem too with Waze is sometimes they have to do an update. They don't update. They're it won't even open. It doesn't tell me where I can go sometimes. So I'm forced to use another app. Because it doesn't matter if you know where you're going. Your commute is just unpredictable.
That's true. You got to give yourself 2 hours for everything. Hey, you going to shout out the YouTube fam or what? They all miss you.
Oh, yeah. I love my Twitch fam. I'm so happy to be back and talking to them. I know it's YouTube now, But I'm just glad to see that everyone's doing so well, and I'm happy to be talking to you right now. I think it's amazing, and I'm so glad of like how you've grown, because I remember listening to you be coming in and then seeing you co-host, and then as soon as you got that position, I was just so happy for you. So
thank you very
even
much.
though I don't chat, I do listen to you, and I love it. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, Reza. Appreciate the kind words. During the old Twitch days, yes, Reza was a everydayer in there, like Riz and like Einbein and Brokerage Bait and Tom and all the other guys that are in there right now. That Ryan's in there. I see them all. J Buck, Humperdinck, 617-779-0985. Thomas is in the car. Hey, Thomas.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? By the way, I think you do a great job with the show. It's cool to listen to you after listening to Felger for a few hours, so I appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
I originally had a different take when I called in, but I've got to thinking, about the Eastern Conference. We know it's just the Celtics and the Cavs with winning records and are, have shown they're good teams. If you had to pick, two teams behind them that, you still, are a threat and aren't putting much stock into their slow start to the season, I just like to hear what you think about that.
All right. I hung up on him. No, you call back tomorrow, Thomas. Good call. To me, it's still it's the Pacers and Cavs,
but not including the Cavs.
Oh, not including we haven't seen the Magic yet. And I know Banchero's out. I don't know what they've done since then. It's not Philly. I'm sorry.
No,
New York bounced back after their opening night loss. So I'll give them their credit on that one. But it's still the Pacers to me. I don't know if you have another one, Skaz. I'm just trying to think of another potential threat or someone else that's playing well. I mean, Brooklyn, the whole league stinks, right? The Cavs are 12-0. Celtics are 9-3. Everyone else is at 500.
Yeah, I'm with you that it's the Pacers first in that list by a wide margin, in my opinion. But I'd have the Magic and the Knicks, somewhat, close behind, I guess. Not too close, but I think the Magic have pieces. I just don't know Banchero's health, and then, can Wagner take the next step? What does their bench look like later in the season? They've won 3 in a row, so they're playing okay right now. But yeah, it's the Celtics and the Cavs, and then there is a major gap between the rest of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, the one thing I do like about Orlando, De Silva, is they got these guys that I have really kind of played pretty well here, even without Banchero. But Jalen Suggs needs to take the next step for them. That's kind of where I'm at, but they can shoot the 3. That's one of my big things. Justin and Lynn. Justin!
Hey, Joe, I just want to talk about the Bruins.
Yeah.
I thought the Bruins really played well in the third period. The first 2 periods, they were asleep, but they got better in the third.
Yeah, what do you think was the reason why they got better? What was it?
Just more energy.
Yeah.
Joe.
So they used more energy and it helped them score more goals.
Yes. Yep.
You got it, Justin. Appreciate it. How about that comeback last night? How about it? We'll get a look at the Sports Hub headlines here. Again, the Celtics back in action tonight. I get some numbers regarding points in the paint, which is very hard for me to say, and rim protection. It's not good. It's not a good area for the Celtics. You can react to the Bruins as well from last night. There's some Patriot stuff out there. And do you believe in the Red Sox doing anything? Because, once I see it, I will believe it. And the college playoff bracket was announced last night. Surprised by the 4. Maybe we'll talk a little bit of that. And we got that big fight on Friday, Skaz. We'll be here. The Mike Tyson-Paul fight, that will be this Friday, I believe 5:30. So maybe when we're on the air, maybe the fight will be over. Who knows? We'll be the live spot for that. All right, let's get a look at the Sports Hub headlines. I'm Joe Murray.
Sports Hub headlines.
Here 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'll re-rack some Celtic stuff here because everyone is so concerned about the loss last night. I wasn't having it. And you know what? The Bruins, I do think, deserve a little bit more attention for how they're battling back. Just to bring this up quickly, I do feel as though the time is ticking on Jim Montgomery. So although things are getting better or look like they're getting better, I think that Sweeney and Neely are stretching this thing out with Montgomery too, because once he becomes the fall guy, who's next? It's them. So I think they're willing to let this thing play itself out a little bit, see if they can work it out of it. They're going to have to make a move. By the way, did you see that their best player, remember yesterday, Skaz? You asked the question, so I blame you now as the Reaper. I have a Reaper problem. We did a whole dog segment the other day. Did you see that Mr. Fickle died or whatever it was? Biffle, whatever it is?
Add it to the count, Joe.
So that's me. I'm the Reaper when it comes to talking about somebody and them going down. But you said that Hampus Lindholm was the best player on the Bruins right now.
This season, yep.
And what happened?
He got hurt.
And how long's he out for now?
A little while, Joe.
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
Can you believe it, though? Like, they tell McAvoy, dude, you're out. See ya. Peace. Out.
I will say, and I think Kevin Majori tweeted this last night, that McAvoy had his best period of the year last night. So when they needed him, McAvoy was awesome last night.
You know what's this? I hate comparisons. I hate to do it. But he's starting to remind me of, like, when McAvoy's going, the Bruins are going. And I used to always feel this way with, like, a Pedroia, right? When Dustin Pedroia was hitting 300 and playing good second base and just, man, the Red Sox were good, right? When McAvoy does that, the Bruins look outstanding. They look like they're smart giving a guy $9 million a year. But he's been really bad on the power play. And listen, last night, did they give up penalties and then give up goals? Absolutely. It's the reason why they were down 2-0 in the game. But Lindholm going down, I don't think it's going to help. Like, no. I know, duh, Joe, duh.
Hot take,
no,
Joe.
But what I mean by it, though, is they won last night and things look like they're getting better, but now that he goes down, are they really getting better? Did something happen to Geeky, too? He had a goal last night. I know he's been buried a little bit, too. And then it was Sway Day. Swayman again. The numbers 5-on-5 for the Bruins are staggering if you look at it. They're very good on the 5-on-5. But I don't know. How about this, guys? How about this? How about you don't create a penalty? How about don't have penalties? Because you're much better when you don't. Feel free to talk about the Bruins if you want at 617-779-0985. Did you also see that they have early Brad Marchand trade destinations? Where'd that come from? So Frederick doesn't have an extension. Marchand doesn't. Obviously, the coach isn't getting one. But it was already leaked out that teams could be interested in Trent Frederick, who isn't really playing well at all. And then there's Brad Marchand. He should be traded. There's also what's going on in Pittsburgh with Sidney Crosby, his next destination. It's all coming out right now for some reason. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. I sat in traffic for 2 hours on 95 tonight. I live in Peabody, so I live right off of the 128-95 split. You know where it is, going towards Gloucester. And I'm just moving. Everything's fine. I put my GPS in. I get past Wakefield, and all of a sudden, you know where the big Jordan's Furniture is? In Market Street, I sat there for 1 hour. 1 hour in the car. 1 hour. Did not move. Nope, not even a little movement at all. Like, not even, like, slow pace. Nope, no movement. Eventually, after budging over an hour, I got off, went North Ave, went by Colaruso's and hopped on 95 there, and it was a clean way all the way to Route 2. I don't know what's going on out there, but I do have an update from a man who worked for the Herald. And there is now a mattress in the middle of 93 North. You think I'm making this up, right? You see the photo, right, Skaz? You saw that? If you're in Boston tonight and there's traffic, there's a mattress in the middle of 93. Now, we no longer work on 93. I don't know. What if we're going to pick your poison, is it 93 or 95? Is it the Pike? Is it 495? Is it 24? What is it? Route 3? Pick your poison, damn it. It's awful out there, everybody. Be careful. 617-779-0985. I'm Joe Murray. We got another segment to go before we hand things off. You got anything bothering you, man? How was your ride in today?
My riding was fine, Joe. A little traffic, but not too bad.
I didn't eat either.
Well, there it is. There's the real crux of the issue.
Angry Joey. I was supposed to meet Liv Shots. I guess he just bailed on me.
Traffic.
I know. Whatever. You know what? I got some bets. Let's get this thing going. Let's get back on track here. I got some Celtics bets for tonight. And, I got a thought on the old college football playoff as well. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports.
pounds of sports up. I'm Joe Murray. Celtics in Brooklyn coming up in a bit. I just had to look up the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson stuff because I was kind of curious about like the betting line. So you can bet it here in Massachusetts. Bill Spiro sent that to me today. So he's from Bookies in the Herald. Jake Paul's a big favorite, minus 210. Mike Tyson's plus 170 for those. So I think this is an exhibition match, and I think in the end it will be a draw, and they'll make money because that's what that sport does. That sport is crooked.
Well, this isn't even that sport. It's not a real boxing event.
Yeah, what is?
It's not a real fight.
Is this an exhibition?
Yeah, there's no rules. There's no testing or anything like that.
Okay, so therefore, then the winning method, I would bet plus 800 on a draw. Right? What are you going to do? You really want to how would you feel betting Jake Paul for a knockout at plus 140? Like I don't want that. I don't want to watch this man against Mike Tyson, who when I told you I worked for a boxing show years ago, and Burt Randolph Sugar literally would tell us that early on Mike Tyson really was a bad man. Like a bad man. And he's a bad person too.
Yeah, bad guy.
Bad guy. But they did give him a lot of layups. Like early on, though, he did beat Olympic champions. But once he became like Mike Tyson, the moneymaker, he was given layups. And then all of a sudden he went to jail and he became worse. And then became worse.
Whatever happens in this fight doesn't show me anything about Mike Tyson or Jake Paul. Mike Tyson is 58 years old, walks with a cane sometimes. So if Jake Paul beats him up, I almost feel worse about Jake Paul.
That's what I mean about the money. I can't bet that. I can't do it. So if you are looking at it, the draw plus 800. And you're right. It's stupid to talk about it. So that's why I gave it 2 minutes. But you know what, though? It's on Friday. So on Friday afternoon, Skaz, before the show, we'll be here on time because, again, the traffic. There's a mattress on 93, and there was a car on fire, and I apologize for the person's car that was on fire. That would not be good. But I just wanted to share that. Also, Gabe is checking in. He's got his bets for tonight. For those who don't know Gabe, a caller, he calls in all the time with lots of bets. He has Dennis Schroeder over 16.5 points tonight. He's also taking Derek White over 16.5 points tonight. And Cam Thomas, who went off in the previous matchup, over 23.5. So there's a lot of overs going on there, but Schroeder, White, and Thomas for those that are betting. I did want to just give a couple of notes regarding the Celtics. They have a ton of issues around the rim right now. I'm not worried about the Celtics. When Porzingis comes back and all, they'll get their rotation and they'll figure it out. But the Celtics have issues around the rim, and points in the paint is a huge issue. When it comes to 2-pointers last year, teams averaged about 51% around the rim. This year, not good. 54%. So there's a significant difference without Porzingis in the mix. How about blocks per game? This year they're at 4.8. Last year they were at 6.6. They were the number one team in the league in blocks per game. Porzingis averaged almost 2 blocks per game. Points in the paint. Last year, they were one of the best teams with points in the paint. This year, teams are scoring over 52 points per game. That's a lot. Last year, they were give up 47. The Celtics are getting to the line more this year. 8th in the league. 24 attempts a game. Last year was just about 20. And they hit the most threes in the NBA, of course, at 18.5. So the biggest concern for the Celtics right now is the opponent's points in the paint. 9th last year. And I don't want to say it's just a Porzingis thing of why they're not great when it comes to that. But they've been late in help defense, right? They're getting smoked on the glass, especially offensive. And really, their defense, they're getting beat in one-on-one situations way too often. And I think that's why they're giving up the points in the paint. And I'll just reference that Warriors game. The Warriors game, how many times did they get beat behind them? And all these, the Pacers, I think, had 50-something points in the paint early on in the game and adjusted in the fourth quarter. One last thing I wanted to get into. And now this is a trend, and I've been noticing it. Drew Holiday's been struggling, specifically from three. His last 5 games from downtown, he's 5 of 27. Joe Math will tell you. That is 18.5%. That is not good. So if you're worried about the Celtics or concerned or whatever, look at that number. Because earlier this year, the first 7 games of the year, Drew Holiday from 3 was shooting 52%. He was 17 of 33